I can't believe Astro Train's common.
Yeah, right?
What the fuck's going on down there?
Like, that was the second thought. I was like, oh, it's a triple fold card. That means they're going to have triple fold sheet.
I was like,
because
oh,
it's different construction.
Number 3. Must be super rare number 3. I guess the other one's
common.
Wait, what?
I think what'll be cool about this is that it'll also, since it's a common, I wonder if they're pushing the triple fold, the triple changers down into common some.
That would be nice.
That way you could have more of an as fan, because the number of times when I was playing that Threats Bliss RC deck, that people would be like, oh, which mode, what does that one do? And that it was super rare was like, no, it starts as alt mode 1, and then that's why I've got this thing, and we should save this for the podcast unless we're already rolling, in which case, hi.
Hi, I guess we're rolling now.
Hi.
Hi, welcome to WTF and TFW's WTF and TCG. We got spoilers. We're talking about one of them, Captain Astro Train. How quick was that?
Yeah.
To the first spoiler. No one can accuse us of trying to pad out a podcast.
Right.
No siree, even though we're probably putting up the image when this goes up, because that's the thing to do now.
Right.
Regardless, hey Aaron, how's it going?
I'm doing good, doing good.
Yeah, I got an Energon Invitational Qualifier tomorrow.
Well, good luck to you.
Thank you. I haven't played in 2.5, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because the game's not out in Germany. Although I found out there is a German community who, one of them, I don't have the name handy right now, and I'm still jet lagged. I don't have it in hand, but shouts out to Nemesis Scourge on TFW. At the German Transformers convention that I really, really wish I had been able to make it to while I was there. They were doing some demo stuff, some intro stuff. They had some gameplay going on, and I am so into Germany having a scene for this game, despite the lack of German language cards, because in a perfect world, that means if they ever start to look and see, hey, is it worth going through a print run in German, and they see that there's a community there, hopefully that would mean something. And hey, shouts out to all of the Deutsche players out there. Like, you're doing a lot of work to play this game. I mean, I know like in Germany, a lot of folks can speak a decent amount of English, but these cards are wordy cards. You know, like there's efforts done to have some translations of cards ready to go, and anyway, it is a whole thing. If you're in Germany and you want some info on that, maybe drop a reply on the YouTube video of this or in the TFW thread, and pertinent folks get in touch with you. There is a Discord. I don't know what it's called off the top of my head, but our first spoiler is our only character to spoil, which is Captain Astro Train, a triple changer in Siege 2. A folding card in Siege 2.
Yeah.
And I immediately was like, hey, it must be super rare number 3, because we just saw the other two. Nope, he's a common.
Yeah, common number Train. 1.
Character number 1, common Captain Astro Train, the triple changer, who's also a leader specialist.
Yeah.
He's also a spaceship, sadly, who has 0 synergy with unidentified flying object. But he's introducing the train tag, which is also fun to see.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting train support. I don't think there's enough trains until we start dipping into certain combiners.
Unless they brought back the triple-sided card so they could do Rail Racer.
You know what?
Then
I would be so into that.
4 trains.
Because, I mean, we got to talk about Astro Train, but obviously seeing that there's a folding card in Siege 2 and it's a common immediately introduces the question, how many other folding cards are there, and does that mean there's a combiner in Siege 2?
Right.
Which we don't know. And Drew's not even here.
Yeah.
We can't even start to...
Are we sure? Are we sure this is another episode TCG with no...
Hey, Drew?
What's it? No.
Drew? No, he's not here. I don't hear Seattle.
Okay.
I don't hear the West Coast. But
it'll be an easier edit this time.
Yeah, a little bit easier. We're just doing. We got the regular podcast gear running on this one, but Captain Astro Train is a folding card which raises tons of questions that I wish I could screwdriver in the door right now. Obviously, there will be. We'll know in a month. Either way. But, he's on the Space Force. He's a transport leader specialist who is a spaceship or a train. No bot mode specific tag. He's 12 stars, 14 health, and boy, this guy even has like a built-in mini game. I was talking about how much I like a card with kind of his own little mini game, and this guy has a real straightforward one. 5/2 in spaceship mode. If he has an upgrade on him and he defends, he's a 5/3. He gets +1 defense. in train mode, he's a 6-1. If there's 2 upgrades, he gets +2 attack, so he's an 8-1 when attacking in train mode. Get 3 upgrades on him, in his bot mode, he is a 9-4.
Yeah.
6-1 base, but he gets +3/+3 if he's got at least 3 upgrades, and battles, so that's either direction. I think that's too slow for him to be like a game-breaking character, but there are enough things, like we've seen on General Megatron, the triple stack upgrades mean that you can't just turn off the 9-4.
Yeah. And he's got that specialist tag.
Yes.
So there's all the specialist toys, all that stuff that just drops in of like multi-tool, and then drop another upgrade on them, and away you go. Yeah. Multi-tool field communicator, you might get lucky, and on one drop, get all 3 upgrades on them, and turn them into something super gross to play.
Yeah, because I think 9-14-4 for 12 stars, I don't know the star to stat equation as well as some other players do off the top of my head, but I feel like 12 stars, 9-14-4 is pretty darn cool, especially with a specialist tag.
Plus whatever else you're doing with the upgrades, because the multi-tool is going to give them bonus attack, or whatever upgrades do is going to go along with that 9-14-4 stat line.
Let's assume a field communicator's on him. He's probably 10-14-4.
Yeah.
Right? And then, if you probably have some kind of armor on him, 10-14-5. Like, there's a lot of, like, the specialist armor and weapons stuff, like, it's all going to be little +1s. Like I said, I off the top of my head, I feel like it's going to be too slow of a... I really hate that people are using Voltron when they talk about gearing up a character. I was just listening to another thing talking about that, and I'm like, wrong franchise! I get where it's coming from, but wrong franchise! But, like a Voltron-style gear-up thing on one guy, like he's gonna need friends to cover him while that's happening. It's not gonna like break the game in half, but darn, I do think that's cool, especially on a common. Like in limited, this guy I think is gonna be a real fun pull, because you're like, hey, I got a game plan as soon as I have this guy. Unless you pull no good upgrades in all your packs, then you're like, why'd I pull this guy? The leader tag as well means he can make use of callous leadership. He's got enough stars for that. I think he could use a Decepticon crown as well if you want to. Those are just the things that open up. I'm excited about him. Like I want to make a silly Astro Train deck. I'm very excited about that. And maybe, hey, I wonder if Octane's in here somewhere. I mean, folding cards, it's going off of Rise of the Combiners. We never really confirmed this, I think, face-to-face, but, like, if there are folding cards, there need to be enough to warrant the printing and cutting.
You've got a sheet of cards. If we're just talking engineering mechanically, like, we know that those cards are built differently. I measured them with calipers because I'm a nerd. And it's different construction to have the hinge layer or whatever to it, so they're not doing it for a single common card.
Unless the whole sheet is Astro Train, and that's why he's a common.
No, because then that'd be like a super common. If you want to roll back to the really weird collations of like Fallen Empires out of Magic, where you had different common rarities because of how they appeared on the card or on the uncut sheets, where you had like common 4, common 3, or common 2, or something like that, depending on how many times they showed up on the sheet.
I mean, no matter how common he is, that means that you can guiltlessly fold your triple changer finally. And I encourage you to just go for it. Have fun with the play pattern. You've certainly got more than one Astro Train. By the way, the other funny thing will be if after this thing goes up, like if John reaches out and goes like, "Hey, that's supposed to be a super rare."
That would be kind of funny.
The 2 super rares that were revealed on the day of this recording, Optimus and Megatron, did have a quick correction that needs to be made after they were revealed by IGN, and that correction was quite hilarious because it made the 2 of them better. It turns out all their stats got increased before printing, but we'll get to that near the end of this. Anything else about Astro Train that you got brewing in your head? I'm legit bummed out that he can't use UFO. I will say.
Well, I mean, he can. It just won't do anything.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would be a little much for him to have a UFO effect on top of all of this. Clearly, he's got spaceship because he turns into one, not because he's built around the tag.
Right.
But, every time I see a spaceship character now, I am going to judge them a little bit on whether UFO interacts with them or not.
Gets 2 points off. UFO doesn't work. It's BS.
Yeah, we got to start figuring out how to score cards. I hear them do it in Magic all the time. And but yeah, if there's nothing else about Astro Train, we have, guess what? 3 battle cards to reveal to y'all. And I feel like I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast or not, that I really wish there was more Decepticon cards.
Yeah, you've said it 2 or 3 times.
I feel like these battle cards were aimed at the fact that I really want more Decepticon cards.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, one of them isn't a Decepticon battle card, but boy, is it a Decepticon style.
But it's very Decepticon-y, yeah.
Yeah, although immediately the first things I thought of were Autobot related. And let's talk about that one first. Why not?
Okay.
It's in the middle. Involuntary Promotion. It is a rare, 32 of 64. Black Pip action. Choose one of your characters. This is a little complicated, so I'm going to read this out, and then I'll explain it. It took me 2 reads to actually kind of get what the card did. Easily one of the most complicated battle cards in the game, text-wise. Choose one of your characters. Return another character from your KO area that has the same number of stars or fewer. Return it from the KO area to the battlefield fully repaired. Move the damage counters and upgrades from the chosen character to the returned character. Then KO the chosen character. So you have to keep track of the words chosen and return. What that means is you pick someone who's not KO'd. You take all their damage and counters and upgrades, put them on someone who you take from KO and resurrect. Then the person you chose originally who wasn't KO'd is now KO'd. You're switching 2 characters, basically, from KO'd to non-KO'd. 1 Black Pip makes this definitely... the implication to me from 1 Black Pip is that this is for a sort of defensive-oriented thing. Or at least, the way that Pierce tends to be a little bit defense-y, or for punching through defense. However, the first thing I thought of immediately was, what's up, everyone who Alpha Strikes RC?
Yeah.
Guess who's back? It's RC.
Yeah.
This is definitely not a... Off the top of my head again, it's not a card I think you could really build a game win around that you plan for.
So this is something with what I was trying to do with RC and Thrust. The reason why I had that Blitzwing was just to be a big wall to protect the other 2 of them. With something like this, I could see trying to get a more utility character in there that's doing other things, and that way, man, if RC really goes out and I need that, I can use Involuntary Promotion to, take out the tapped out guy that I have that's got a little bit of damage on him after RC got Alpha Striked, pull her back in and maybe do some shenanigans or something with it. I could see this being a lot of last turn, second to last turn of the game, looking furtively at board state and going, man, I wish I had that tool in the KO area. Oh wait, now I do. And it's a little bit more punchy than necessarily I Still Function, maybe.
Or I guess I should say maybe between Peace Through Tyranny and the upcoming new keyword, the revenge keyword, there are ways you could maybe manipulate aggressive self knockouts using this card to trade characters between each other to activate their revenge mechanic over and over again. Like the Triptychon boys.
Yeah.
You have one on the table, one in KO, and you just swap the 2 of them to get the revenge things to fire off over and over. That could be a thing. Just going off the top of my head, I can't see an immediately easy one, but I feel like this definitely, between this and Peace Through Tyranny and Revenge, it's kind of hey, there's some cool graveyard manipulation stuff you could do. Also, super long shot. This is another card that kind of synergizes with Wave 2 Grimlock in a way.
Yeah.
Because you start filling your graveyard, your KO area with all these Dinobots who weren't there on the table, and it's not like you're putting them straight on the table, but, hey, maybe you really want one of the other ones in there. It's a weird, limited sideboard in a way. It's a neat card. I kind of wish the pips on it were a little different, but that's just because I still haven't fully clicked with the pure Black Pip card.
Yeah.
In my own play style. I do like the artwork a lot as well. It's got our freshly revealed Nova Storm, who I believe, as far as this game is concerned, they settled on Nova Storm being female. which is cool because that is pulling right out of Cyberverse, which is an easy thing to have not kept up with if you're an older fan. I've caught on, but Cyberverse has done some interesting stuff with the Seekers. Having watched some parts of season 1, I still have to finish season 1, but Slipstream and her Seeker goons are by far one of my favorite parts of that show. So it's cool to see that get a little bit of recognition here. But yeah, I wish I had, like, right off we just saw these cards today as of this recording. I wish I had some cool deranged involuntary promotion combo to throw at you all right now, but I haven't thought of it yet. I'm sure someone else will think of it. Aaron, you got any other ideas popping in? Battle Masters can't play with this, unfortunately.
Battle Masters won't be able to play with this.
Well, I mean, you can KO a Battle Master to bring a non-Battle Master back to the table,
but it's going to have to be 5, 6 stars, 7 stars or less.
Yeah, and that would mean your Battle Master outlived like another character.
Yeah,
so that's not something I think you want to plan for.
Maybe if you've got Lionizer and nobody in your meta ever lets damage go on Lionizer when you play it, maybe that way you can pull back one of the, like, patrol guy. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird thing because, like, off the top of my head, I keep saying that. I gotta stop saying that. But, like, my immediate reaction is what I'll say is, why would I do that instead of why would I not just piece through Tyranny to get the extra turn to make sure I get the Lionizer swing?
Right.
Granted, a little hypothetical. I don't really play a lot of aggro yet.
Yeah,
I play against a lot of aggro.
Like I said, where I can see this one having some massive uses in that, you know, I've got a couple of toolbox characters, and I've lost one of them, but that's what I really need to wrap this up to make that trade.
That and revenge cycling, I think, could be really cool, depending on what some of the other revenge effects are in the game. So yeah, that's involuntary promotion. But then we got that's anyone can use that. I mean, anyone can use any card if you really want to. But we got 2 Decepticon cards, which makes me super excited because also they're 2 rares, which maybe makes me less excited because I want to use these. Let's do Backfire first. This is a secret action. So it's one of our first looks at a new secret action, I believe. This is a one blue pip secret action. Decepticon card, reveal when one of your Decepticons defends. When revealed, do damage to the attacker equal to the number of upgrades on that attacker. Now, I had an immediate excited reaction. I've tempered it. I think most of the time this is going to be ping the attacker for 1 when you're facing Autobots.
1, maybe 2.
Yeah, like generally it's going to be someone with a weapon on them, unless it's later in the game and then they happen to have like an armor on them as well. But most Autobots I see tend to be so aggro, it's probably just going to ping them for 1 or 2. That still is something, especially if this pops up late game and they're like, oh, you didn't kill my guy, he's got 1 health left, I'm going to take the game now. And you're like, bip.
Yeah. Although, not to roll back to the other reveals, General Optimus Prime with 3 utility slots. So
immediately,
how fun would that be to be playing against that? Oh man, you got 3 cargo trailers and Matrix of Leaderships and all that. Oh no, I'm just going to play this secret action and attack with my guy. Oh well, like 6 damage against your General Optimus Prime.
Yeah, the first thing I thought of after tempering my thoughts was like, oh, but also they just introduced a character who can have, let's see, 3 cargo trailers, plus a Matrix, plus an energy pack, plus, let's just say 1 weapon, plus triple extra padding, so that's 9 damage when he attacks me.
Yeah.
Backfire is...
Quit hitting yourself.
I think I mentioned this when we talked about Revenge for the first time with Drew. I really like the idea of punishing someone for attacking me. Backfire is quite literally it is going to punish someone for attacking you. You're going to play it because you think that the opponent's going to attack you with a weapon.
Right.
So there's a way for this to whiff, but boy howdy, especially if they got Lionizer, you're just like, well, I know you're going to have a weapon when you come at me. So let's just settle this right now. Much like with Astro Train, I think Backfire is going to be like, it's not going to be the game winner most of the time. It's just going to be part of the overall plan. I like the combination of the blue pip with the defensive action with the ping for 1. That all kind of, I think, is a great representation of what Matt Smith talked about blue pips being at Gen Con. It mitigates a bit of damage, but also is hitting back. It's still getting damage in. who is suffering from the backfire? Because he's trying to shoot Soundwave, but who is that?
That is an Ironhide clone of some sort. Is that Crosshairs?
Oh, that is Crosshairs. I see it now. Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure because of the lighting of the backfiring gun.
No, that's Ironhide's weapon, which is what the roll back to Crosshairs was.
Yeah. Hey, guess who might be a character in Siege 2?
Yeah, maybe.
It's not for sure, but tends to be with the Siege artwork. If we see them in a battle card, there's a decent chance that they're in the game somewhere. I'm thinking Backfire is going to be fun. Backfire, I kind of wish wasn't a rare because I just want 3 of them, but that's how it goes.
Yeah.
I think in limited it would be kind of like messed up if you could just have like 2 or 3 of these pretty regularly. But I'm really happy that we got another Decepticon card. I'm way more into the other one if you want to move right into Pincer Movement.
Sure. Yeah.
I think this is actually exciting to me on a level of this could be something not that I would build like a whole deck around, but this feels to me like Decepticons are getting to have a trick. I really am bummed out that it's a double pip 1-star card. Mm-hmm. Only because of Press the Advantage. I'm kind of like, just give it to us. Let us have a Press the Advantage. Because the effect is cool. This is more of a cousin to Heroic team up.
Yeah.
But I just really want the Decepticon Press the Advantage, for crying out loud. But it is still exciting to me. It's Pincer Movement, orange blue pip, 1-star card, rare, 44 out of 64. When one of your Decepticons attacks an enemy this turn, you get an extra attack this turn, but only with one of your other Decepticons against the same enemy. So you're basically getting to attack one enemy with 2 Decepticons in one turn. Mm-hmm. The thing I did like about this is it started to make like all the Decepticon cards to me feel like where Autobots are aggro, Decepticons are control to some degree. They're blue, they're manipulating where their damage goes, they move it off themselves to other characters on your team or to opponents with planes. And in this case, it's like also sometimes we get to attack you with 2 guys. Even though like there is Heroic team up, which is kind of shooting my whole theory in the foot, but let's just pretend it doesn't exist for now. I think it is also interesting that like Chop Shop and Kickback are on here because I'm like, that seems like 2 guys you might go in with at the same time in the middle of a cycle.
Yeah.
To just like really just bish somebody, just like jib them a little bit, like swing in with a big kickback and go like, oh, also here's Chop Shop. Mm-hmm. Like if you led with Scrapnel, wave 1 Insecticons, you led with Scrapnel, they hit back, then on your turn you play Pincer Movement, go kick back Chop Shop and obliterate whoever came at you first.
Yeah.
That's a big punish. If they come at you with a big character who they think's going to survive, this is a neat way to punish that.
Yeah. This is definitely when I saw this one, I mean even like reading the text of it, hiding the artwork from myself, I saw Bugs decks. And just seeing knowing the number of times I've played against a Bugs deck, and like the tempo of it is, okay, well, I've got 2 more health on this guy, and hopefully he'll like make it through the next round. And I'll put maybe a juicier target out there and try and give the opponent the decisions. Like, I think that this has a good eye on either just getting a good 2-in-1 hit on it and potentially taking out somebody, or also to a certain extent just changing the tempo of it. If you went second, hey, you're going to catch up on the attack cycle.
Yeah.
As it were. And especially if you're on a wide deck and they're on a tall deck.
Yeah, so I'm just double checking Heroic team up. And it is slightly different. It's with Autobots they get to do the thrust trick. This is you getting to have 2 completely separate attacks, which is, I think, neither better nor worse. I guess it depends really what your guys have on them, ability-wise.
I think that by raw numbers, Heroic team up would be better.
Pincer Movement lets you get around like one-shot armors,
right?
Like Force Field or the other one.
Well, that's I think it's something where Heroic team up for raw numbers is going to be better because you're only getting one use of defense versus Pincer Movement. You're getting your inbuilt defense and then whatever your deck's going to give you if you run some blue in there. Yeah, where it'd be less damage overall, but like you said, Pincer Movement will probably let you like pop a Force Field. or something along those lines.
Classic Autobot deck, for instance, cars, right? Like that's running generally either mixed or fairly orange. That you're not necessarily like slamming yourself. Like I would say Pincer Movement you might not want to use against like something that's heavy blue, since you're letting them flip blues twice. Although, hey, if you're running new super rare Megatron, Pincer Movement is making you flip more cards out of their deck. Or if you're, playing against a Cosmos or a Nemesis Prime, this is letting you grind down their deck out of their personal established mathematics, which I can speak from experience can screw you up. If someone makes you just flip 2 extra cards at the wrong moment, you're like, uh-oh, all my math.
Yep, lost a Gen Con game that way.
But I'll say it. I don't think Pincer Movement is. I said it. It's the cousin to Heroic Team Up. Heroic Team Up is probably the stronger one in the current game that we know of. But that's just the state of Autobots right now. They're so aggro friendly, and aggro is the friendliest thing in the current state of the game. But hopefully, these are not the only 2 Decepticon cards. In Siege 2. They are definitely a great addition, especially because all of these are playable off the top by what I would call the Decepticon Superstar Major Shockwave. These are more things, secret actions and actions that he can play off the top without your opponent getting to, gank him out of your hand. That's helpful enormously. Pincer Movement, the immediate thing I was like, how do I make Pincer Movement work with Major Shockwave? Until we know more Siege 2, there's nowhere I really see it fitting in.
Yeah, no.
But, hopefully there are also going to be more characters in Siege 2 that benefit from you playing Decepticon cards. There aren't that many for Autobot cards either off the top of my head, but I said it again. I just want more Decepticon help, because I play a lot of Decepticon decks, so I have felt the difficulty in trying to focus on Decepticons. It's brutal, and playing Autobots against Decepticons, press the advantage always feels rude. I always feel guilty doing it, especially when I pull it out with its green pip and I say I'm just going to switch for press the advantage. It's like it's a kind of crestfallen that doesn't feel as good as when I make someone's hand disappear with Shockwave. But I want to say thanks to Wizards for the previews. Hope that you all enjoyed the previews. Aaron, what are you thinking about these? I'm having ideas for most of these. Involuntary Promotion, I got to get some play in with. Probably Pincer Movement, I think is going to be for some kind of wide deck that has the extra stars. Maybe we'll get. Autobots Micromasters have got that new quote unquote Lord for the off-road patrol, I believe it was.
Oh yeah, the
Powertrain.
Sorry, say again.
Powertrain.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so maybe we'll have one of those for Decepticons as well, and that could help find a place for Pincer Movement that isn't bugs. Nothing. I was about to say nothing against bugs, but hey, Aaron's here. I'll be friendly.
Screw the bugs decks.
Everything against bugs. Let's. I don't want to give bugs things. I want other Decepticon decks to get things.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying this as well as all the other Siege 2 spoilers we're getting. I want to just take a quick look again at what we've got here. As of this recording, there's only been one other battle card revealed, which was Guarded Posture. And I lost the YouTube link that revealed Guarded Posture. I'm the worst. I got it. Guarded Posture was revealed by, on YouTube, Zero Magnum X. And that is a common armor that is basically the backwards cousin sibling, this time I guess, of Erratic Lightning.
Yeah.
Which I want to see. I want to see the crazy person who just goes Erratic Lightning and Guarded Posture on the same character.
It'd still be a net benefit, I guess.
It would be.
+2, +1.
Yeah.
Get that with any 2 other cards, but
that'd be 2 cards to get that Ion Blaster of Optimus Prime bonus.
Yeah.
I think, unless I got it backwards. But then characters, there are a lot of characters that got revealed of late. Nova Storm, as we mentioned. Nova Storm, unfortunately, I can't think of an immediate plan for her yet. Because she's Black Pip oriented, which I haven't wrapped my head around.
There's so much stuff in Planes that seems like there's a missing corner piece to the puzzle.
I keep seeing all of these big meaty chunks, and I can't find the ligaments.
Yeah, there's some connective tissue. If you want to go for body or food that's in there, that you just need that the other part that brings it together. That I don't know if we need some specific, because I mean, what battle cards do we have for planes?
Bombing Run is the one that I always think of, because that's past damage. And Nova Storm, like, she is Pierce oriented. Put a Pierce upgrade on her, like a Pierce pip upgrade on her, flip to plane mode, and she's doing a personal bombing run. You have one of those on her in bot mode. She's 5 Pierce 3. She gets Pierce 3.
So you've got aerial recon.
Yes.
That like lets you peek on your deck and is a little bit of defense. Sorry, I'm just going down the official app right now.
If we had a focus plane, that would, I think, do something with aerial recon that I'm more into.
Yeah, maybe.
Because, I want planes to... Ever since Wave 1, I'm one of those people. I want planes to work, and I want them to not be the aerial bots.
Yeah, bombing run.
Plane mechanics.
You've got what was it, Crash Landing?
Oh yeah, Crash Landing. That one also felt like that was like almost this thing, but like, where do you use it?
Crash Landing plus... No, because that's only KO'd on the opponent's turn. I'm going to say Crash Landing plus our promotion, Involuntary Promotion. But Crash Landing's only on the opponent's turn.
We went through that with Crash Landing when we all saw it, and someone was like, "Peace for Tyranny," and it was like, "Oh no, wait."
Yeah, yeah. Like there's plain tribal stuff out there, but it seems like there's just still something like a plain tribal commander would be great.
I would like
their lord.
I know that Wizards doesn't want to just tell us how the game works, but and once Siege 2 is out, maybe we'll see something else. But if we still haven't figured out planes by the time Siege 2 is done, like planes that aren't the aerial bots, I want. Can Wizards give us a little spoiler, just like a little bit, like what are planes? What do we do with them? Because I love it when they work, but they work on such a like haphazard, like they almost feel really great, and then the star counts also start to interfere with each other. Like, we're in a better place now. Someone pointed out Nova Storm is the first 7-star plane.
Yeah.
And that means something. Like, we're almost there. We also saw Private Powertrain, which we mentioned before. It's a third off-road patrol member who lords for off-road patrol in bot mode, gives them +1/+1. Oh no, sorry, gives them all bold 1, and then at the end of the game, if you kept Powertrain alive, he gets +1/+1 in bot mode for the other 2 off-road patrols in the KO area. So it's they said in the article that revealed him, he's supposed to introduce the idea of the Micromasters not being ancillary tools, but being the focus.
Yeah.
He's definitely not doing it by himself, is what I'd say, but that makes me hopeful that there's some more Micromaster tech coming in Siege 2.
Like, for example, a 4th off-road patrol member who was revealed in Europe. Congrats, Europe.
And then, hey, this was an exciting movie. We got Private Vanguard, who was the Action Master partner to Euro G1 exclusive Action Master Sideswipe. This is a legitimate step towards Omega Supreme.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I can't imagine that this was not some kind of statement to that regard. And even if they say it wasn't, I don't believe them. The moment I saw that the Battle Master gear mode was a helmet, I was like, wait a second. And then someone who was at Matt McNally was like, oh, I need that now for my Sideswipe collection. And I was like, at first I was like, oh, maybe this is just in the spirit of those partner pieces, because I don't remember them all super well. But then I went and checked, and like, no, Vanguard is legit.
Yeah, that's straight up
Euro G1.
Yeah. The one thing I wish with Vanguard is because he has those guns on the side of his helmet that he would give like a +1 to attack.
Me too.
Like, he pings when it goes on, and that's cool. But it'd be nice if it was just like, acknowledge the artwork there just a tiny bit.
Or at least if it was like a defensive ping effect. I mean, that would make him cost more stars, which I think goes against why he was existing in the first place. But also his effect, like, he's a 3/1 with 5 health, and if one of your other characters defends and flips a white pip, they get like a sort of modified force field where they can't take more than 5 damage, which is cool, especially for 5 stars. I got no idea really where I fit Vanguard in yet. I think the effects are neat. We need more cards to go with them.
Yeah. Well, I think he'd be very interesting in setting up a defensive lineup, because if you have him go last and you're even a little bit healthy on white pips, then everybody got a force field to a certain extent. Like, I see this as a very defensive counter aggro style card.
I would like to see him slotted into the old Wave 1 White Pip Focus Cars Trucks deck with good old Mirage. I think that could be kind of fun. My one big bummer with Private Vanguard is like literally there's like I think there's zero synergy between Vanguard and Siege Sideswipe.
Yeah.
Like there's none, and I'm like, oh man. Also, who's wearing Vanguard? That's not Sideswipe. Those shoulders look weird. Like, is that Twin Twist? Is it Tailgate? I can't tell.
I don't recognize those shoulders.
Those look kind of IDW Tailgate-y. But, like, what happened with Vanguard and Sideswipe? Is that some fiction I gotta write? Because I'm down. Maybe this is before Vanguard met Sideswipe?
Yeah, could be.
Yeah. Anyway, Vanguard made me excited.
Well, yeah, because it was G2 Sideswipe. He had G2 Sideswipe colors, right?
No, he had G1 side. This was before G2. It was Euro G1.
I swear that Euro G1 Sideswipe had slightly funky colors, though.
He was primarily red, is what I'll say. His colors were kind of odd where the blue placements were, but he was still basically a red man. The G2 color scheme did not exist until G2 proper, and that was after that toy had come out.
Okay, found an image. He's got blue elbows.
Yeah.
This Sideswipe here doesn't have blue elbows, so yeah, he's not gotten there yet.
Whoever's wearing this guy has a blue chest and white kind of flared petal-like shoulders. I don't know who that is off the top of my head. Hope someone figures that out. Drinking game, by the way, for this podcast is off the top of my head. I hope you've been keeping up. And then this also excited me, partly because of the nature of the character. Dazzle Strike is getting to be a card.
Yeah.
The most, like, I don't know, change that to green repaint figure in the whole line. And then their card, like, people who are playing this card game who have not kept up with the toys, I know I saw at least one person double take a Dazzle Strike and go like, isn't that just Lionizer? And I'm like, yeah, dog. That's just Lionizer. But Dazzle Strike is not Lionizer at all. Dazzle Strike's a 3/9/1, turns off Brave, which I think is an interesting thing to have in the game.
Yeah.
And then does a whole bunch of stuff. Like when you put some other people mentioned, when you put the Shadow Steel Ice Blade, which is green with orange flames coming out of it. So it's neither Shadow, nor Steel, nor Icy. When you put this on a character, repair 3 damage from the character. When you take it off the character, you do 3 damage back to the character. It's kind of like Energy Pack, but it's plus 3 attack. Is neat, is weird. I don't really know what I do with Dazzle Strike. Doesn't look like a bad character. I'm just like, this seems like a sideboard character. Maybe?
No, because as a sideboard character with, like, if this was Magic the Gathering and you had different sideboard options, maybe, but as a sideboard character...
Oh, it's the only one.
That's the only one you get. It's not like you get a star value to go in the sideboard.
And you're not like, oh man, Brave ruins my deck.
Yeah, like there's not a whole lot of places where I think Brave really locks things up. It helps you, like, adjust tempo, but I don't know if I've seen any decks out there that, like, where Brave is anything more than this helps things.
Yeah. Because where my head goes is like, maybe there's going to be a character for whom repair 3, do 3 damage will equal something.
Yeah, maybe.
But that involves also KOing the Battlemaster to then go into this like other synergy mechanic, and I don't know how much that works. If someone figures it out, I'll be super hyped, because Dazzle Strike's also one of my favorite Transformers names this year. So I'm hoping. Also, like, melee, so you don't get to do, it's not an armed hovercraft, drop-off point. But then we also had some super rares get revealed. And it was, like we said, IGN revealed these. Good old John popped up later and go like, hey, guess what? These cards are actually better. So we had General Optimus Prime and Lord Megatron. General Optimus Prime originally was a 19 health character who's now a 21 health character. Lord Megatron was originally a smaller... He gained a health and also gained an attack value in his tank mode, which, if you look at the art, they left the old attack value of 5 in the blurb on the robot mode text.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Hopefully I'm sure that'll get fixed.
Hopefully.
If not, then I'm sure they're going to have to say, I mean, it'll be the obvious thing. If it's in orange, it's the one that's real.
Yeah.
But who wants to be the badass that gets text? Yeah, but who wants to be the badass that gets their super rare and then like uses a Sharpie to change that 5 to a 6?
Just a vertical line, really. It's just
yeah. I like how we both make the exact same Sharpie noise.
Yeah, and then you get DQ'd for altering your cards.
Yeah. You're like, no, wait, I have another one. So I don't know, like Optimus is the one that I want to talk about the most because it's real petty. He shouldn't have been called General. That's just going to be so confusing.
Yeah, I'm with you. I really wish it would have been like Galaxy Optimus Prime or something.
Like, look at his subtext: Galactic Commander, Optimus Prime.
Yeah,
there you go. Because General Optimus Prime is, I think, proven to be a pretty standout character. Mm-hmm. Basically, this new one, no one's going to call him General Optimus if he becomes a thing. People are going to call him Galaxy Optimus. And so,
or what if it was like Armada General Optimus Prime?
That would be super weird because this is Galaxy Convoy. Yeah. But I'd be down for that, sure. Anyway, this guy, new biggest character in the game that isn't a large card. He's a 15-star Autobot leader, ranged both sides, truck and truck mode. 721-2 in truck mode, 821-2 in robot mode. In both modes, he has 3 utility slots. When you flip to truck mode, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's an action, play it. When he attacks in bot mode, you flip at least 1 orange, 1 blue. You can play one of your flipped upgrades onto him after the battle. Now, clearly, much like other General Optimus Prime, he favors a mixed deck. Not in this case, not just mixed pips, but also mixed action upgrades. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure what the math is optimally to make use of both sides of him. I wonder if maybe you kind of have to pick one. Like, you're just going to focus on the robot mode and go upgrade heavy, or you're going to try to... I feel like that's the one you'd want to do.
I feel like this is also something that wants to pull that bold... For sure. The way that any of the Optimus Primes want to pull bold in, not just to like get it to do the thing, but also go from there. And then that was the one thing that I noticed with his bot mode skill. It's after the battle that's really important that it goes on. So that's really important because there's places, because we were talking like, hey, he's a truck, like 3 cargo trailers, man, that'd be crazy, right? And well, he can't because he wouldn't be a truck at that time, but some of those things that could be like
grenade launcher, for instance.
Grenade launcher that could significantly swing certain times.
He can't OPBL himself into doing 12 damage out of nowhere. I almost want, like, some people have been talking about how there's been more than one character that feel like they're democratizing Optimus Prime Battlefield Legend into multiple different characters in piecemeal, and adding more star cost, more restrictions, almost as though perhaps they are setting up to remove OPBL from proper constructed play. I feel like maybe that's more of they are setting the stage if they have to, but at this point I also wonder if they ever will, given that he has not been the game-winning card of the last couple big tournaments. Mm-hmm. He certainly is still effective, don't get me wrong. I think everyone agrees he is well overpowered for what he does, especially as of now. But I think there's just more interesting and more complex decks happening that are not just, we have a lot of actions and the guy who can play an extra one on the attack.
Yeah.
Like this guy, for instance, 3 utility slots. Yes, let's do the math. For instance, 3 cargo trailers take up one of those 3 utility slots. So that's the easy one to get out there. He has 2. If you have 3 cargo trailers on him, you still have room for a matrix and an energy pack, or 2 matrices. Let's get into the triplicates. Put 3 matrices on him. Now all of his teammates are getting what, +3 Pierce 3?
Yeah, but at the same time, he's 15 stars, so all of his teammates are a couple of off-road patrol guys.
Well, bear in mind, right? If you start stacking for this, he's got teammates who are getting +3 Pierce 3. You give them laser cutlasses so that they're having +4 Pierce 6 with their inherent attack values added in. There could be some terrifying things happening here. Also, triple energy pack. Now he has 33 health, and you can't just knock one of them off unless you have disarm. Have fun with that. This is a real fun looking card. Obviously, the balancing point is that he is 15 stars, so you can't just like buttload him with like some of the most powerful, mid-tier support guys or whatever. I feel like Flame War is going to be his friend for the first few decks that put him together.
Yeah.
I almost wonder like Flame War Skydive, just so you have like the wall and the buffer, and then we'll see what happens from there. Plus, they're 2 specialists. You can play more upgrades onto them. Nonetheless, I'm really excited about this guy. Also because he's friggin' Galaxy Convoy. That makes me really happy. That's not to say, though, that there is nothing to Lord Megatron, who, by the way, is called Lord Megatron. He does literally the thing that I wanted that Optimus to do. And I'm not the first person who pointed that out. But Megatron conquered Cybertron and got a chair. He is a 12-star Megatron. He turns into a tank, obviously, ranged in both modes, leader in both modes, tank and tank mode. 17 health for 12 stars with 3 defense in tank mode, 2 in bot mode. 6 attack in tank mode, 4 attack in bot mode. Those some stats, I think.
He's a beefy boy.
Those are some cool stats. I like the 17 health with 3 defense a lot. When you flip to his tank mode, your opponent has to scrap a number of cards from the top of their deck equal to his current defense total. So the thing you notice in both these effects is that the highest version of the number... actually, no, wait. The highest defense is in tank mode. The 6 is not for the... Okay, so it's just for the other one. That's actually pretty fair. So yeah, he has 3 defense in tank mode, so if you just flip to tank mode natively, scrap 3 cards off the top of your deck, please. Someone pointed out, this is one of the most effective defenses against Press the Advantage, because you cannot get it back to your hand.
Right.
You don't get to green pip it, so that's something. Also, it's a way to kind of mess around again with Nemesis Primes and Cosmoses and Hot Rods, who are trying to time themselves around a deck shuffle. Hot Rod less so, but catch Nemesis Prime in the wrong mode, for instance, or use a corner to flip Nemesis Prime to the wrong mode, take them past the shuffle point, and you make the Nemesis Prime player feel bad. In the robot mode, though, when your opponent reshuffles their deck, they choose one of their characters who then takes damage equal to Megatron's attack value. That, I think, is pretty neat. It's a little past its what I would call not prime, but like that is the effect I think we all wanted back in Wave 1 to deal with Nemesis.
Yeah.
A Nemesis punish now exists, maybe a little past Nemesis Prime's due date, but there have been some cool things people pointed out. Like, if you play a certain number of cards onto Megatron and then cause a reshuffle to happen with his attack value pumped up, that could be rude. Like put a grenade launcher onto him, for instance, but don't attack with him. And then your opponent's going to reshuffle. Hey, I hope that one of your characters is willing to take 8 damage. And also, hey, you can't do anything about it. There's some cool stuff about this Megatron, and I think one of the best things about him is that he is 12 stars and not any more than that. I think a real limiter on some of the big Megatrons have been their star counts, and I'm really happy this one's 12 stars, because I think that leaves him the breathing room to have a neat deck get built around him. Whereas like Living Weapon is the easiest example from Wave 1 of a 13-star Megatron who's just like... He's not bad, I don't think. I still think Living Weapon is neat, but the 13-star part really makes him hard to want to commit to, outside of like a weird gimmick that you're going for. So Lord Megatron, I think we want to see more of the battle cards from this set, but there's something going on with him. Also, I like the artwork a lot in the bot mode.
Yeah.
That's a chair.
On that throne, yeah.
Also, I don't know. As a career Nemesis player in Wave 1, I had my Nemesis 3-Watt I was very proud of. I'm happy to see that there is a Nemesis punish for that specific effect, like, in Wave 4, when my poor Nemesis deck no longer exists. I tried to adjust that deck for Wave 3, and it just wasn't happening anymore. That was my first... I don't know if this is a topic people can relate to who are... Like, as someone who's not a super experienced card player, that was the first time I had to kind of, take... I had to really put my baby back in the box You know, like I couldn't make Nemesis 3-wide keep happening in a way that felt better than some of the other decks I was having more fun with. So I had to put that one to bed for now. I'm going to bring him back. He's going to come back someday. But yeah, we have some cool cards going on in this set.
Yeah.
Makes me super excited to see what the Energon Invitational is actually like. I'm still not seeing the whole scale deactivation of Autobot aggro yet.
Yeah, well, I think it may just be something that's going to be just one of the archetypes. The same way that in Magic there's always some version of a red deck wins deck. Of just, hey, I have a bunch of stuff that just punches you in the face. I think that's what the Autobot aggro is always going to be. I think that there's going to be things that help maybe tune against it a little bit.
That's what I'm hoping for.
And other things that help you to react a little bit better against it and maybe let you do a little bit more what you want to do. But
I'm really hopeful that we see battle cards that let, like, Major Shockwave is the one for me. The Decepticon deck that I think really hangs near that upper echelon. But, like, damn, do I want to see some battle cards that make me not feel like I am turning on hard mode by wanting to focus on Decepticons?
Yeah.
I really, really hope that's a Siege 2 thing. Or, like, even if we take a decently sized step towards it, that would make me feel okay. And you know, it is a brand thing. Autobots are going to be what, you know, your average Joe kind of wants to get into. You know, the Optimus Prime is going to be a powerful card because it's Optimus Prime. But I think Major Shockwave was just such a great step towards Decepticons not only having the ability to deal with some of that stuff more effectively, but also to kind of start having their own archetype that was not just bugs, which are kind of like the beginner's mode aggro where everyone eventually advances to Autobot cars. That's a massive broad stroke statement, but like I just always see it as like, I'm starting the game. Okay, here, play bugs. All right, I'm getting kind of tired of bugs. Want to try Autobot cars? Yeah. And then you start going into Lionizer stuff and et cetera, like, yeah, make some Decepticons happy. That's what I'd like to see. When this goes up, it's going to be a big reveal week, from what we understand. So let's see how that goes. This is being recorded on September 13th, Friday the 13th. I've been having a real Friday the 13th, let me just say.
And it's a palindrome.
Is it? Is it? Oh, wait, is it? What's a palindrome?
The date is all this week.
Numerically?
Yeah.
I just was in Europe and I'm seeing all the dates funny in my head. I need you to lay this one out for me.
Isn't that what it was supposed to be? It was like a 913, or no, it was 91. I forget.
It's because it's 91319.
Yeah, 91319.
Oh, I see it now. Okay, yeah.
I was looking at 2019 down in the bottom of the corner of my screen, and I'm like, no, wait a second, like, that's wrong. What am I doing?
That's also one of the first things I looked at. What's going on, everyone? Yeah.
It's not been a 50-hour week at work for Aaron. No,
I was also looking at the 0 in front of the 9 on my display and going like, there's no 0 in this. But yeah, when this goes up, there may already be tons of reveals that have already happened that answer some of these questions, that maybe nullify some of these theories, support some of them. We'll find out. We literally don't know when we're recording this. But hope you all had some fun listening to this. Aaron, you got anything else you want to throw out, TCG-wise, of late? Any fresh Aaron news?
No, I unfortunately haven't gotten to play any since Gen Con. I did get my Pulse package in 3 separate packages.
Hey!
I ordered 2 of the convention packs and 1 of the 35th anniversary pack. Yeah. So that means that I got a box from Hasbro Pulse that had a single convention pack in it, and then another box from Hasbro Pulse that had a single convention pack in it. And both of those could have easily fit inside of the box that they sent the 35th anniversary in. So
you could have slotted them inside the non-window on the...
Yeah, I came home and I saw all the stuff stacked up, and I was very confused, and was like, okay, what are these 3 boxes? 1 of 2, or 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3? Huh? Okay. Yeah,
that's now making me remember when me and some Canadians got in that Siege Wave 1 order on Hasbro Toy Store or Toy Shop in its final hours with that glitch code, and it just came in multiple very expensive FedEx shipments. Expensive for them, not for us. Good times. My only news, I actually haven't really played since the last podcast either, because I was in Germany, or I was getting ready for Germany and family coming. I just didn't have time. I was going to try to play yesterday, but I was recuperating from the 24 hours of transit I was under. So basically I got an Energon Invitational qualifier tomorrow at a big Magic the Gathering MCQ at some hotel, and I made a new Major Shockwave deck, going off my experiences with mine and having watched a recent Vector Sigma video where they talked about a more aggro-oriented Shockwave that really did jive with my personal experience. So I grabbed some ideas from that deck, and I'm going to give that a shot with 0 practice, because whatever. Here's the practice I've got. I know to do the Shockwave check, so that's half the battle. But I very much agreed with the outlook that Shockwave does work as a sort of aggro control. That's been my experience. When building a very blue Shockwave, I think I said this on another podcast, I always felt like the first half of the game, I am in pure control. Second half of the game, sometimes I literally can't finish it because I'm just not hitting hard enough. So we're going to give this a try. Also, this deck is based on the idea of using Skydive, and that was an idea I had and then had dropped after some testing, and I'm really happy that idea has kind of panned out for other people, because I wanted that to work. And I think the third character in this one is Swoop, which is... I didn't know that there are barely any 6-star specialists, but it turns out there are actually literally 3. Because they were like, yeah, Swoop is in here as a 6-star and as a specialist. And I was like, there got to be other choices. It's like there's 2 other choices, and one of them is Wave 1 Prowl. And I was like, huh.
Yeah.
Hope we get some more of those in Siege 2. I want some options. But we're going to see how that runs. And then I got at least one other qualifier at the end of the month, and hopefully we've got a third one this month that I might be able to make it to over at Three Kingdoms if they get theirs going. I still don't know a date for that one, but fingers crossed. Either that or, hey, even bigger fingers crossed, they announced it and I missed it. That's also a chance. I was in Germany. When all the stuff went up on Hasbro Pulse, I was in Germany. I was like, there's no way I'm even doing that right now.
Yeah, I know they stayed around for a good time. I wonder if they're still up. Let's see.
Hey, as of Friday the 13th.
Pulse, Transformers, and we go, let's grab this letter all the way down, because we don't need to be looking at Unicron.
That's a whole thing, by the way, TCG folks. If you want to go and have some fun, go check that out.
They appear to still be available.
Thank goodness it panned out that it was not a 5-minute window to get the Omnibots.
Yep.
I'm very happy. I hope they're in stock for a while. I'm not saying I don't want them to sell, TCG dudes. I want you all to have your good businesses and whatnot. But limited unique characters like that, the more readily available they are, the better it is overall, and the less aggressively what's the word I'm looking for? Apprehensive most of us are when new ones get announced, is what I would say. Also, I was just looking at the Trypticon characters, and I am totally seeing some fun stuff here between like with our little involuntary
because it's the same number. You just keep
involuntary promotion.
Keep bouncing them back and forth.
Brainstorm, involuntary with full tilt and wipeout.
Yeah.
Draw cards and do damage.
Especially if you can get them in their bot modes.
Yes. Also, I just realized you're moving equipment around, so get some put-on effects on these guys. Hey, they're ranged.
So yeah. Armed hovercraft.
Ping everyone for 2 while you're doing all this nonsense with Brainstorm. Probably just for 1, but Brainstorm, involuntary, that would be a flex move that I want someone to play.
Yeah.
That's a big, check me out. And hey, involuntary is not a star card, so you can fit into Trypticon. Someone go do that. Anyway, we'll talk to you all later. If you enjoyed this, bear in mind we got other Transformers podcasts up on TFW 2005. It's WTF.TFW2005.com. If you're listening on YouTube, that's also where you can get audio versions of these. If you want to check these out on YouTube, please do, because usually, at least once or twice, cards fly around on the screen. And that's fun.
Like audio and visual.
Yeah, so go check that out, because also that does its little part to help support these podcasts being edited, because that's a bunch of... I edited one of these in Germany, and I just want you all to know that. Although most of that was audio editing. I still did some cards flying around on the screen, so go find those. You win a prize if you find all the moments when cards fly around.
Is the prize that you got to watch all the cards fly around?
Yes. And it's worth it. The Final Cut X has some smooth slide transitions, let me tell y'all. Anyway, thank you for listening, Aaron. Thanks for joining me again.
Yeah.
Wizards, thanks for the previews. And hey, all the rest of you who got previews, y'all kick ass. So put some slide transitions on and have your cards fly around on the screen too. That's my challenge to y'all. Especially to you, Wreck and Rule. I want some slide transitions. None of this blip on the screen. I want to see a slide transition. That's my... Is that too mean? I don't want to be mean. I'm trying to be all like camaraderie aggro.
It's being aggressive, man.
I want a slide transition.
You got to calm down.
Slide transition!
What the f***'s going on down there?
You